Hello and welcome everyone to the Gold and Silver Club weekly commodities review in alliance with ACM Gold, presented by myself, Phil Carr, and Nick Kelsey at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will cover an end-of-week summary for the metals, for the energies, for agriculture. We'll look at gold, silver, oil, natural gas and coffee. We'll also cover the top trades of the week, as well as giving live market commentary and technical analysis. We'll also look at the week ahead. So the 6 key news announcements which will affect the commodities markets in the upcoming week, and of course we'll be answering any questions you may have on today's webinar too. So first of all, gold price this week. Well, the major fundamental news this week has been the gold price has been the boost it's seen on dovish FOMC, the minutes from the FOMC and upbeat Chinese data. So the headline event this week was the minutes from the FOMC, which were released on Wednesday the 21st. Traders watched for clues of the future of the Fed's monetary policy. Now the minutes from the FOMC, they touched upon the topic of a rate hike. However, outlined this would take place in 2015 after the central bank ends its quantitative easing program this year. So the initial reaction to talk of a rate hike triggered an immediate sell-off in gold towards $1,280 an ounce, followed by a quick 100-point move rally back up to $1,292 an ounce. As traders, they digested the report as it became clear the Federal Reserve would delay rate hikes for as long as required. So as the Asian markets opened on Thursday, Chinese HSB manufacturing PMI came in at a reading of 49.7, which was better than the 48.1 in April, making it the strongest reading in 5 months. So the HSB manufacturing PMI data indicated China was recovering from the recent slowdown. Upbeat data coming out from China, the world's largest commodity consumer, combined with the Federal Reserve's reassurance that interest rates would not rise anytime soon, helped to boost gold, silver, copper and crude oil prices. That was midweek. Elsewhere in the markets on Wednesday, China and Russia signed a 400 billion natural gas supply deal. So Russia will now supply the world's #1 energy user with a source of cleaner fuel. So the deal involves directly linking Russia's huge gas fields to Asia's booming market, via thousands of miles of new pipeline across Siberia. Okay, so that is the biggest natural gas deal in history. So some huge fundamental announcements which have come out this week. We'll very shortly look at how that has actually impacted the financial market. So I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, the commodity currencies. I've also trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. I'm responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of generating returns for traders, and a regular contributor to a number of financial publications, speak at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nick Kelsey, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading. And prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club, spent over 5 years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top tier hedge funds and investment banks. And through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, mindset and tools that give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global and business financial publications, and we've appeared frequently on financial television. So that's a bit of background on the Gold and Silver Club. Now we'll take a look at the gold price at the moment. Interestingly, we're currently trading at $1,292 an ounce. We'll take a look at the charts and the technicals very shortly. Before we do so, we will look at the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So those have been, first of all, coffee. Last week we actually had a really nice setup which we covered towards the end of Friday, also on last week's webinar. So this was a coffee setup that we had right at the resistance channel. We had a really nice opportunity to sell off a bounce off that channel. We came down all the way back down to support this week. Very nice risk reward on this, 3.5 to 1. Very simply, the risk on this was 37 points, so 370 US dollars for each lot traded for a profit of 136 points, so 1,360 US dollars profit for each lot traded on coffee. We then had WTI crude oil. That was this week. We had a really nice breakout. That was, in fact, a 3 to 1. You can see we broke out the 102.21 level, very key level of resistance. We come all the way up, bang on the next resistance channel. That was a 60-point risk on that trade. So each lot traded was $600 risk for a profit of 176 points. So 1,760 US dollars for each lot traded for a 3 to 1 on WTI crude oil this week. And we also had a really nice breakout yesterday on gold. So that was very simply, again, you can see where we took the trade from a breakout of a level of resistance. The risk on the trade was 40 points, so $400 for each lot traded, and the profit on that was 100 points. Very simple trade. Just each lot traded was $1,000 profit for a nice 2 to 1 yesterday on a breakout from that resistance. So those are the 3 top trades of the week. Now what we'll do, we'll move over to some live technical analysis. So I'm just going to first of all start off with our bird's eye view of the market here, and we'll just take a look at really what is starting to set up here prior to the weekend. So, and as we go into next week as well. Right, what I'll do, I'll actually start off with some of the agriculture markets. I'll tell you what is looking very interesting right now, wheat. Wheat is currently, we've been in a nice downward trend with wheat. We did actually break through a major support level at 657 yesterday. We spiked up ever so slightly above that, and today you can see this downward trend is staying firmly intact at the moment. So you can see very clearly here, we've got lower lows, lower highs, and what I would be looking at now just on wheat is just to come down and take out yesterday's low. It looks very likely we're going to do that. Look, it's even doing that right now whilst we're live on this webinar. Looks like it's going to come down, just take out the low of yesterday, and we should really get a continuation. There's not really much support here on the wheat market for roughly about another 123 points. So I would definitely keep an eye on that. Wheat has been pretty slow all day up until really the last hour or so. We're starting to build up momentum here. So take out yesterday's low, and then we're looking very simply to come down here on wheat, and we've got the next major level of support is about 130 points lower. So I would definitely say keep an eye on wheat today. Now, corn has also been very similar in terms of its downward trend over most of May here. We had a very strong start to the year in wheat, corn and coffee. We're on a pullback at the moment. In terms of seasonality, what you normally see on the corn and wheat market is very strong at the start of the year. So January, February, March, April, going into May, normally strong. Now, seasonality bias says normally during the summer is when we get a sell-off in these agricultural markets. So we are expecting further downside here for both wheat and corn as we go into June and July. So there are some nice setups even at the moment. We can see on the daily chart here, nice inverse hammer just forming some key MAs as well on the daily chart of corn. So I would watch out for this as we go into the close today. So looking to take out yesterday's low on wheat. Corn, we're looking also to do similar. We're looking to come down and take out. We've got a major support here on corn, which is at 472.56. Okay, so we're looking to take out yesterday's low, take out Wednesday's low, and really get a nice lower here and down to the next area of support, which you can see clearly on my chart. Okay, so we're looking to take out those levels. Now, also taking a look over another of the agricultural markets, we'll look at coffee. So coffee continues to break down here as well. We can see yesterday we actually reached a new low for May. We came down. We found a little bit of a capitulation at that level, around about this key Fibonacci level, which you can see highlighted in green. We've got a little bit of support today, but again, we're still within this very clear downward trend on the coffee market at the moment. I'll definitely keep an eye on that for any rotations lower, particularly if we get back below the key Fibonacci level here around about 180, and we can take that out and take out yesterday's low as well. So do keep an eye on those markets today, wheat, corn and coffee, for further rotations lower. Now if we go over to, let's just take a look. We'll take a look at the WTI and Brent crude oil as well. So first of all, let's go over to WTI crude oil. So we can see there's a nice little bit of consolidation. We did have this V-shaped reversal pattern. It got broken out of this week, had a nice move. Now we're consolidating at the moment. You can very clearly see that. We've got a resistance here. We've got a support here as well. You can see you've got this red dotted line, another support level. So really we came up, we tested yesterday's high, we tested Wednesday's high today as well, came up to 104.27. We couldn't break it and we're retracing a little bit. So what I'm looking to do today, looking to see is a breakdown of yesterday's low, look for the market to come down, test the next level of support here, which would be round about the 102.69 level, just come down, rotate lower, and that will be a decent pullback. We are overdue a little bit of a pullback. We're a bit overextended at the moment on the oil, so I'll be looking for a pullback on that today. Just need to take out yesterday's low. Okay, and now as we go over also, we'll take a look at Brent as well. So Brent, similar situation, nice doji yesterday. You can see the market came back up to Fibonacci today, just retracing, looking to take out yesterday's low, get a bit of a rotation low, a bit of a pullback at the moment. That's what I'm looking for in both of the oils at the moment. If we move over to the energies, right, we've definitely got a very strong pennant forming at the moment on the gold market. You can see that, couldn't believe it. Again, we got another bounce off this trend line today. We came down, found ourselves supported by 12.87. You can see how tightly the market is winding up really for a breakout. So it's a bit like a coil or a spring just coiling it up. It's ready for a breakout. And now the tighter this range becomes, the more likely we are to get a big breakout when we finally break either to the upside out of this resistance channel, or we break the support. So we can see even today we got another bounce of support and we found ourselves back within this channel. So very interesting at the moment. So they're probably now, as we go in towards the end of the week, got a bank holiday on Monday in the US and the UK as well. We're expecting now a likelihood of a breakout into next week. Unless we can get any solid moves out of this pennant formation, we're probably going to get a major move into next week. So we're either looking for a breakout of this, okay, from the support side, the supported trend line, come down to the next key levels below, key support, and so on, take those out. So we're looking for a high momentum move now to get a breakout out of this consolidation, or we are going to get a breakout to the upside. So we will break above the resistance around 1302 level, and we'll look for a breakout and come up and test key resistance levels above. That is what we're looking at. Either direction, a breakout at the moment. It's just consolidating. You can see it's ricocheting between support and resistance at the moment. So I would definitely keep an eye on gold, have your alert set, get ready for a breakout in either direction. Very similar situation to silver. In fact, silver even today came down again, tested the trend channel we've got here and found support. So we have got a very clear pennant and triangle formation just forming here. We've got higher lows, lower highs. We've also got a bearish flag formation as well. So this is where the market has come down. It's then started to rise high. We're looking for a breakdown, potentially lower within the predominant trend, which is a downward trend. We're still below a lot of key moving averages. Now, until we get a solid confirmation, either a break of support or a breakout of resistance, we are going to remain range bound. You can see we're getting quite a lot of pressure within this triangle and within this pennant as well. So we're looking either for a breakdown of the low, okay, looking for the breakdown of the trend line, which hasn't occurred yet, or we're looking for a breakout of resistance, so which would be a breakout to the upside here. And that is what we're looking at the moment in terms of gold and silver. Now, if we move over to copper, copper been having a better time, a much better time. We'll look at palladium and platinum next as well. So copper has had a pretty decent move this week. There's been some good setups over the course of this week. We still remain pretty tightly within this upward trending trend channel. We've been in that for over a month now. So we get higher highs, higher lows. We're working our way out of the lows of the low that we put in March, and we're really starting to come up to some interesting levels at the moment on copper. What we need to do is we need to see really a breakout of this resistance. So we need to break above the monthly resistance at the moment, about 3.1952, in order to get, you can see there's just a little resistance level above, in order to really get some momentum behind this copper trade to the upside. Now, if we look at palladium, palladium pulling back a bit today, but we did actually reach all-time highs just yesterday on palladium. Palladium continues to break out to the upside. You can see we're getting a bit of a pullback at the moment, but we've had some very decent moves on palladium. It's probably overdue a pullback now at the moment. You can see very clear trend channel on palladium, very much in an upward trending market. I would be looking for pullbacks here and opportunities to get back in to this overall strong trend. You may see a pullback to this support level and the lower end of the trend channel. Also, if we take a look at platinum's also fared very well over this year. We can see we're still right at the April/May highs at the moment. We're very close. We broke out again to the upside yesterday. Bit of a pullback today, nice hammer forming on the daily. I would keep an eye out for that and also see if we can clear yesterday's high on platinum too. And we'll also, let's just take a look. We're just going to come back to this bird's eye view here and we'll just have a look again. We'll just review some of the key action to be watching today. Okay, yep, so in summary, really the key markets that we are going to be watching out for this afternoon and into next week. Certainly we want to keep an eye on gold, a breakout of the pennant formation. Silver, exactly the same situation, very clear in terms of their support and resistance levels at the moment. Copper is continuing to break out alongside platinum and palladium. We're looking now to clear above the weekly highs for the next move higher. Brent crude oil, look for a pullback. We're also looking for a pullback today on WTI crude oil. We can see it's come up to a level of resistance and it's failed to break that. Also definitely keep an eye out for corn, coffee and wheat, continuations of a rotation lower here, particularly on wheat. I'm just looking for us to take out yesterday's low now and really start to move, to build up some momentum to the downside here if we can just take out yesterday's lows. So there's plenty for us to be looking at today on the markets as we go into the bank holiday weekend. Okay, on Tuesday the 27th of May at 2:30 p.m. Central Africa time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US core durable goods. So that report measures the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufacturers goods, excluding transportation items. So the core numbers gives a better gauge of ordering trends. A high reading indicates increased manufacturing activity. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the US dollar. Next Tuesday, the 27th of May, at 2:30 p.m. Central Africa time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the CB Consumer Confidence. So the Conference Board CB Consumer Confidence Index measures the level of consumer confidence in economic activity. It is a leading indicator as it can predict consumer spending, which plays a major role in overall economic health. A high reading points to high consumer optimism, and a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the US dollar, which will inversely affect gold and silver. Then next week on Wednesday, the 28th of May at 4:30 p.m. Central Africa time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US crude oil inventories. So that data reports the number of barrels of crude oil commercial firms have in inventory. Commercial firms report those inventory levels to the Energy Information Administration on a weekly basis. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for crude oil prices, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. And then next week on Thursday, the 29th of May, we have 2:30 p.m. Central Africa time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US GDP. So the gross domestic product measures the annualized change in the inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. It is the broadest measure of economic activity and the primary indicator of the economy's health. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Next Thursday, the 29th of May, we have 4:30 p.m. Central Africa time and 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US natural gas storage reports. That the Energy Information Administration, the EIA natural gas storage report, that measures the change in the number of cubic feet of natural gas held in underground storage during the past week. We saw that have quite a big impact on natural gas this week as well for a sell short. A higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for natural gas, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. And then moving on to next Friday at 3:55 p.m. Central Africa time, 9:55 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US Michigan Consumer Sentiment. So the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index rates the relative level of current and future economic conditions. So there are two versions of this data released 2 weeks apart. The preliminary data tends to have a greater impact, and a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. So those are really the key news announcements we need to look out for, the top 6 announcements we need to look out for in the week ahead. And also, of course, for those of you who'd like to learn to trade commodities with the Gold and Silver Club at one of our international training centers or also online, very simply you can do so. Just register at www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. Request further information on the Gold and Silver Club coaching programs, got our live trading room and our upcoming courses. You can very simply call us at our Johannesburg office. That is at +27 11 083 8403. Okay, so +27 11 083 8403, or simply email us office@thegoldandsilverclub.com. So that is how you get in touch. And of course, do make sure you also take advantage of our newsletter. You can subscribe to our newsletter at our website, thegoldandsilverclub.com. You will see free weekly reports on precious metals, energy and agriculture. We give you all the key analysis for the week ahead, the major news announcements, live market analysis and prices. So do make sure you take advantage of our free weekly newsletter as well on our website. So with that, we'll leave you with that for the time being. There's lots to be looking at on the markets this afternoon as we go into next week. Okay, so quite a few top picks there. So we wish you a good weekend, guys, and we will see you back here the same time next week. Okay, so that's a wrap for today. Take care, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.